Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kenty, your Kingdom Concierge. Happy Monday to you. This is a great day. Happy Monday. Did not come on last week, but I'm sure you guys had a wonderful Monday. And I hope that you had a great weekend. I certainly did. On our last show, we talked about empty nesting. So I had my husband on the show, and we discussed our update on empty nesting, and y'all, we really did cut up something bad, but that's what we do. Talking about what life is like with the kids out of the house, and we're just very transparent and open, and but I'm still trying to kind of muster myself through that because I really do miss not having the kids and the total family like I used to when everybody was living at home. But God is good, and so we're still kind of balancing those things out. I did get a call from a young lady who is also empty nesting, and she shared with me how that live really did help her. She was going through a very big transition with having her children out of the house, and I get that. I really do. And different people deal with this differently. And so she called me, or we talked the other day, and she talked about how she just laughed and was able to really bring laughter to the her empty nesting. And I'm so glad that that show was able to really help her and really bless her, because that's what we like to do. We want to be transparent so that people can really kind of get an understanding of what emptiness is all about, and that you know what, sometimes even though it feels a certain way, we can make light of that thing, and knowing that you are not the only one dealing with that, and to share your experiences with other people is always life-changing for a lot of people who are dealing with that. So guys, listen, we're excited about that. Thank you so much for checking us out. We really got a really great response on that. Also, if you did not get my live on Saturday night, please go out there and check that live, guys. I'm talking to you about the importance of checking your surroundings during the holiday season. There's a lot of things going on, and people are being robbed, and the cars are being set up and booby trapped, if you will, trying to get you in a vulnerable state. So if you missed that, go to my personal page, reach out and check that live that I did, and then also share that. With other people. Okay, someone says that they're seeing a dark screen. So guys, come on in and chat in the comments. Let me know if your screen is dark. Let me know if you're having some issues with your screen. Let me know. I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest on tonight. We have PK Fitness LLC. If you are one of my followers and friends on Facebook, you already know who Peggy Keebler is, the body artist. Peggy has been doing this for a considerable amount of time. She is a guru in the industry, and she comes with a wealth of knowledge, and she is a certified health and wellness personal fitness coach. And so you know who she is. I really don't have to introduce you to her, but I'm so excited that she's on the show tonight. She's here along with Gina, Dickens, and Erica Baylor. Both of them have their own businesses, but they are certified coaches with PK Fitness LLC. Tonight, we're going to be talking about aging, what that looks like. We're going to be talking about different age groups and how different people are kind of aging with that, and what are some of the things that you're experiencing, and what's the best way to manage your way through that. So I'm excited about having these ladies on the show. Ladies, welcome to the Ladies Room Talk Show.
We are. Hey. Hello. We can't see you.
You cannot see me.
Your screen is dark, and we're getting messages that they can't hear, and the screen is dark.
So we're gonna see maybe they can see or hear us. Let's see.
Okay, let me see what's going on here. I'll go to my page and see.
Hey everybody.
Yes, so my screen is dark. And I don't know why. Okay. Okay, can you see me now?
We can see you.
You can see me now?
We see you now.
Did I appear from nowhere?
You did.
Yeah. Yes, you did. You did that.
Okay, now I like that. Hello, everybody. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's talk about this thing. All right, ladies, welcome. What are we talking about tonight?
Wow, we're talking about aging through the ages and the stages, 30, 40s, and 50s. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. Just trying to bring some knowledge in and talk to the listening audience about just aging and staying the course while aging. Yeah.
Okay, and so we have some age groups represented here that you guys are going to be talking about, and you're going to be sharing some of the things that you've experienced. Now, I don't know if I quite remember the transition from 20 to 30, but I do remember 30 to 40 and then 40 to 50. So I might have to help you a little bit closer to that 20 age group. What were some of the things that you guys, and Peggy, you might remember too, what you were experiencing in your 20s to 30s? Because at some point, I can't remember when the dermatologist was talking about when your skin starts to not regenerate and exfoliate on its own. And then you have to kind of help it out a little bit and have your couple of days during the week to exfoliate and get the dead skin and all that. So I know that your body kind of does the same thing. So in whichever one of y'all can jump in, but when is it when you can tell about your body that it's starting to kind of slow down a little bit?
Well, for me, I won't say that my body slowed down, but I definitely felt something different. And that was as soon as I turned 30. I felt like I had to work a little harder. When it came to working out, I felt like I couldn't necessarily eat the things that I wanted to eat and just kind of bounce back. It just seemed like my body had just kind of trickled over into another arena and said, hey, things are different now, and I need you to adjust accordingly. I felt like that's what my body said to me. And I remember researching like different vitamins to take. And I'll say this, it started to become more of a not how I look thing, but how I feel type thing. It was more about, that's when the light kind of clicked on about, okay, Regina, you look good, but how are you feeling? When I turned 30, it was more about like, now how are you feeling? What do we need to do to continue to make you feel good and feel healthy? So that's how it was for me transitioning to the 20s, from the 20s to the 30s.
Okay. All right. What about you, Erica?
My 30s. Let me say my 30s.
Your 30s. Okay.
My 30s. I was like, after playing sports, my 30s was awesome. I didn't have that experience of anything starting to slow down at 30, because after playing sports, my body was still in that workout mode, eating right mode, and looking good mode. So there was no time that I had that experience of, okay, I'm slowing down. I got to do this. I got to do that. But at that time, I was beginning to tell people that if you don't exercise, if you're not eating right, then you can see a change in your body. So at 30, I was pretty good at 30. I was on point at, so no complaints. Yeah.
Okay.
What about your 30?
I will say my 30s were kind of a blur. But what I will say is I said the same thing as Peggy. So in my 30s, I was actually working out with Peggy. Peggy was my personal trainer. And so I was pretty fit in my 30s, thanks to my personal trainer. What I can say now, getting into, I'm 39, about to be 50, I can say now that the foods that I used to eat that really didn't affect or change my shape at all, it hit different now. It hits different. I can't do those same things I used to do.
Yeah.
I have to say, because I've been rocking with Peggy for a minute, I would probably say mine probably kind of hit in my mid 40s when I started to kind of feel a little different. I'm kind of like Peggy, very athletic in college and in high school. So, and even after I had my children, having 3 children, I was still good. It's kind of when I kind of pulled out of corporate America, and when I started hitting like a premenopausal type thing, that's when I started feeling a little different. So I don't, and I'm kind of like Erica, that those 30s, the kids were small, so that's kind of blurry. I was busy running after the kids, and maybe that's what kind of kept me, in that space. I'm not sure. But, what I did realize is that at that age, sometimes you don't use your muscles as much and, moving around like you would normally move. And I don't know what that is, Peggy. Maybe you can expound upon that. But you don't, the older you get, you don't move the same muscles as much or maybe as often. I don't know. What is that?
Well, the older you get, your metabolism starts to slow. It's not that you're not moving the muscles. It's just that the metabolism starts to slow and it takes you longer to move the muscles. Think about a person that's 69 years old. It's going to take him or her longer to move those muscles. Not that they don't have the muscles to do it. It just takes longer for them to do it because the metabolism has slowed down and they need to recover and get that metabolism back up. So when you reach age 30, you kind of for some people, hit a plateau and things starts to decline because your eating changes and just your way of life changes if you haven't made that lifestyle change. So yeah, the muscles are always moving and you move the muscles.
And I'm gonna kind of take it back, right? Because right now, of course, we're talking to three people who we exercise. We have our regimen, but then you have some who do not exercise. They do not have their regimen, and things will be different, So I mean, regardless of your age. So let's say that you are in your 20s. You don't have a trainer. You don't work out. Then it's very important for them to understand that the older that they get, their metabolism is going to slow down. That is different for everyone, Not every 30-year-old can jump out their bed and go run or lift weights or this, that, and the other. So it's definitely one of those things that whatever you start, you have to continue. And I think that plays a major part as you age.
Right.
So, if you don't have your workout ethic right at the age of 25 and you start at 30, then 40 may look a little bit better for you, but if you don't work out at 30 and you start at 40, it may be harder to start, but it's definitely going to look different depending on where your start was or what you're currently doing now. And that's one of the reasons why you should just start no matter where you are,
right?
Because you want to continue to be ageless and fit.
So how would one that's not used to dealing with lactic acid buildup and all of that, how do you guys train people like that who are not used to that? Those of us who are athletically sound, I'm used to knowing that if I do this type of workout, I know I'm going to be sore and I just work through it. That's just how I was trained. But some people who are not athletically sound don't have that type of wherewithal. And either one of you guys can answer. How do you coach a person like that, or how do you get their mindset into that that way of thinking, knowing that okay, you're going to be sore, just push through it?
Well, I really feel like we all do a good job of saying, the best thing you could have done was to walk through the door. And we always meet our clients where they are because we do not expect anybody to come in and jump through hoops and you have eyes and who knows when. And honestly, that's on the questionnaire sheet before you come. But everyone needs to know that having an exercise regimen is definitely a journey, and I have this saying that, your exercise regimen does not have to be extreme, just consistent. As you brought up the acid situation, because a lot of them come in and they're sore and they feel like, what, I can't do this. But it is a part of the journey. And it's funny because Peggy always say, are you hurting or are you sore? Does it burn or are you hurting?
Hurt, right.
Because burn is okay. Sore is okay. Hurting is not okay. Right. But it's definitely a part of the journey. We work out all the time and it's still workouts that we do that leave us sore.
Right.
So I will not say that that the soreness will stop, learn that as we go through the journey, we know how to deal with the soreness. We know that, okay, I need to stretch. We know, okay, maybe I should, back off this particular weight and so forth. But we meet everybody where they are, and we gradually increase as they become stronger. And usually they recognize it. They say, when I first started, I could only do 4 sit-ups. Now, I could do 20, and we're just like, hey, yes, you're not sore. So it's definitely a journey. Everybody starts somewhere, and you just work your way to wherever you are trying to get to.
I was gonna say, I think too, to kind of piggyback and touch on the stretching, and it's really just also making sure that you stretch. I think that we, all of us probably can agree, are just guilty of not stretching, literally just stretching. I tell my clients, I have a client that work in the healthcare industry. They're in addition, they sit behind desks. Get up and just kind of stretch. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs, walk around. I think this pandemic that we've been in for such a long time probably has aided in us not being very mobile as well. And so I think, like Regina is meeting people where they are, but then giving them tools that they can use to kind of help them through their fitness journey, even when they're not in the gym with us.
Mm-hmm. Also, to piggyback on what they're saying is, you meet a person where they are, you meet the clients where they are, but no workouts are the same.
Yeah.
Workouts are the same. Yeah. When our clients come in here, they never know what they're going to do. Right. And they may feel burned through the process. Yeah. They may feel DOMS after a day onset muscle soreness. They may feel that. But our thing is, we have 4 foam rollers here. So we can offer foam rolling. We can talk to them about stretching. So there is no excuse when it comes to training. Mm-hmm. Because like they said, we do meet them where they are, but no workout is the same. And sometimes people get caught up in wanting the workout that she's given this client or even this client, but no workouts are the same. You have to start from the beginning and work your way up to where your fitness level is.
Okay.
So soreness is not an excuse.
Okay. So you're customizing the workouts for each client that you guys are working with.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So there's someone that's
For me, I work with more older seasoned clients, I should say. So there's no way that I'm going to work two the same. I'm not going to work a 24-year-old the same as I would work my 69-year-old. So those workouts have to be tailored. When they fill out the PAR-Q form, we know exactly what they need before we even train them. And if there are 3 yeses on this form, we're sending them out. We're sending them, you need to go get a doctor's excuse, a release from a doctor before we can even, begin our workouts with you.
Okay. So someone is 38 years old coming in to work out for the first time. What does their very first day look like at PK Fitness?
The very first day, they're going to fill out a PAR-Q form, a questionnaire. So that lets us know what we can do with them, actually. And it depends on the consultation. The first day is going to be the consultation. We're going to talk to them about what their goals are, what they need, setting SMART goals, food journals. We're going to talk to them about all of those things the first day. But then in our assessment, that's when we find out what we need to go. That's going to be the first day. Everybody's first day is different, but it's the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right. It's filled with cardio. cardio, strength conditioning, and it's interesting because it's interesting how different clients come in and their expectations. You know, you have some, they'll come in and they'll say, girl, I ain't worked out in forever. I ain't gonna be able to do nothing. And then they surprise themselves and they're able to do more than they thought. And then some like, I got this in the bag, and they leave like, okay, I wasn't as fit as I thought I was taking it. So like Peggy said, every consultation is different, but it's just for us, it's to see where they are, where we can start, what they're capable of doing, on their first week of training and so forth. But it's every consultation is different.
I just want to add to that. I think the role that the role that we have as personal trainers too, is to meet our client where they are, but push them towards where they want to be.
Yeah.
And I think it also takes on the first day, like Peggy and Regina said, we do the paperwork, we do the consultation, but as we continue to work with these clients and build rapport, we see their limitations, and sometimes their limitations are just like we said, they don't think that they can do this. But our job is to really kind of push and motivate and show you technique, to show you that you actually can do more than what you think you can. So
okay.
So show them a technique, and you show them the technique, and also let them know that we're not going to hurt you.
Right.
And that's definitely something that my seasoned clients, want to know. Don't let me fall. Don't hurt me.
Building that trust.
Yeah. So you're building that trust, and their clients are the same. Don't hurt me. Don't push me too hard. I'm not a dude. All of those type of things that that makes them continue to come back. Yeah.
So, some women don't like to work out for fear of bulking up and looking masculine. And so I'm looking at all three of you, and you guys are still very feminine, still very soft. How would one keep and maintain that feminine look even though they are working out?
Well, number one, for women, they don't have those hormones. Enough of those hormones is going to make them bulk up. And that's why we're certified, because that's what we study. And we pretty much work our clients out somewhat the way we work out. And that's how we are able to tone our clients without having them bulk up. And we just let them know this is what we're going to do with you. When they say we don't want to bulk up, we let them know that you're not going to have enough of those hormones to make you bulk up. We're going to, do we look like we bulk up? No, we don't, So that's how we go about delivering that information to them.
I think there's just a myth that, the moment you pick up a dumbbell and you start using it, you're gonna start to look masculine. That's just not the case. I mean, even in weightlifting, it all depends on how much you're lifting. It depends on your reps. It depends on a lot of different factors. And I think it takes us educating our clients too, to let them know that we're not gonna try to, you want to stay feminine and soft looking. We're gonna make sure that we help you meet that goal. And it's just breaking that myth of weightlifting, because there's a lot of myths about weightlifting that just aren't the case.
Yeah, because there are some women who do have that concern. And I know that there's a difference from losing weight to leaning out, or to defining your body, or maybe it's just some areas that you want to target, like your back fat or the waist, or getting rid of cellulite, or those bat wings, and that's what I like, the fact that you guys are certified trainers, because you know how to hit those target areas and to work on it and pull it in. I know with me personally, I like to focus on my waist, my back, and my arms. And so my arms are kind of like hereditary. So when you have certain areas, guys, that are hereditary, like you can look at that person, like with me, you can look at me, but then you can also look at my mom, and then you can look at my aunt, and we're all kind of built kind of the same way. So if arms are the issue, and if that's hereditary, is it harder to train the body type if that is a hereditary or if that's in the DNA of that person?
We cannot change the, is it the word I want to use, structure? However, we can help define that part of the body as best that we can. For instance, if a person with bigger hips, we can't make your hips disappear, you know. However, like you mentioned with cellulite around the thighs, this, that, and the other, you know, we can do things to tone, you know, to lean, but we can't necessarily change the structure of the body, which leads me to, you know, there are so many advantages of different types of exercises. You know, cardio is important for specific reasons. In order for me at the age of 37, in order for me to stay lean, how I have to incorporate cardio. The flip side, strength conditioning is just as important. We need to be strong, you know, we need our muscles to be strong and so forth. So there are so many advantages, and not everything works for everybody, which is why, you know, you have trainers to go to seek that advice.
Also, dieting is most important. You can't have one without the other. It's just a way of life for the body. That's what it was designed to do, is to, you know, meal plan, meal prep.
Yeah.
You know, you are what you eat. And that's a true statement. I mean, it's a true statement. We are what we eat. So we try to stress dieting and exercising in our processes of personal training.
I think too, you know, we are what we eat, but we are even more so what we eat as we age. And so
That's right.
again, it hits different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Real different.
Yeah, that same cheeseburger 10 years ago that I didn't.
Right.
My scale didn't move.
That's right.
I can't even look at it now. I look at it and
It
one
feels-
bite is a wrap.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it lands.
You eat the whole
Lands a different place.
Balance.
Yeah.
But you know, we get you mentioned the areas of your body that you really try to target, and I think I can speak for probably all of us when I say most of our clients come in, they talk about their waist and the changes that they want to see on their waist. And I always tell my clients, just like Peggy said, you can come in the gym, you know, we're here, we're going to work you out, we're going to train you, we're going to focus on those areas that you want to focus on, we're going to make sure you get a great workout, but that waist is the kitchen.
That's it.
That waste is coming out the kitchen for the most part. Yeah, I'm sorry to say.
It is.
I'm saying
It's made in the kitchen. It is.
It's made in the kitchen.
It's made in the kitchen.
And so you got to.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask y'all this, since we're talking about the ages. So now, once I hit, now I'm in the fabulous 50s. I did not.
Yeah.
I've always had a small waist. Okay, even in my larger size, in my biggest size that I've ever been, I still had a waist, if that makes sense. But what about like the stomach? Because I know that's hormones. Once you get up to a certain age, is that right or wrong?
That's correct.
Yeah. I mean, it can be a multitude of things depending on what woman we're talking about. Because it can be hormones, it can be childbirth, it can be a plethora of things.
Right, but you were talking about the fabulous 50s, right? I mean,
we're talking about the 50s.
Yes, the fabulous ones.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That'd be it.
I mean, I think I do think it's hormones. I do think it's hormones that causes it to grow. But I also think that it's food, and sometimes the hormone can trigger certain type of foods in order for that to take place.
Right.
So what we need to do in that aspect is know what to eat when it comes to our hormones and the menopause part of it, because it can create a larger waistline.
Mm-hmm. So now there's something that you have me on right now that I'm doing. If you want to share it, you can, but that is kind of streamlining my meals and in eating more. Because I know I've had times and spots where you'll say, oh, okay, Kenty, you looking good, looking good. I see you, Kenty. Then I'll get Kenty a little fluffy. You
No, never.
This is
what?
I have not said fluffy. I have not.
Okay, well, when you say fluffy, what is it that you can say about me that indicates, okay, what does that tell you when I'm in my fluffy season, which I hope never to revisit again.
Right.
When I'm in the fluffy season,
right?
What is that telling you?
Yeah, that's telling me that somewhere along the way you're not eating.
That's what they say.
You're not eating right. You're not eating right. You're not exercising outside of fitness. So that shows me that I can see a little fluffiness. Yeah. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
I mean, when I don't feel like exercising, or if I eat a certain type of food, whatever, I feel fluffy. I feel like, hey, this right here gotta go. I gotta fix this. So you're not the only one. I can just see that by, looking at certain people that I train.
And by the nature of us being trained, we know we can see.
Yeah,
that's our job.
But
because that Krispy Kreme, that Krispy Kreme donut will forever be in my head.
Oh,
mine too. The way you saw me at the what will always be in my mind is when I was at the traffic light and you caught me like this. Literally caught me putting the donut in my mouth. Oh my God.
So
I
I know
say
there's a possibility.
What did you say?
So I know there's a possibility. I said I know there's a possibility that you doing some segments, like you're going somewhere to test some food out somewhere. The food is probably not the best type of food. So that lets me know that you probably gonna be a little fluffy sometimes.
Yeah. But it's very disheartening when you walking around thinking you fine and you fluffy.
You fine.
That's a very sad reality.
Fine and fluffy.
Ain't nothing fine about fluffy, I promise you. It is not. So, hey guys, let's talk about supplements. We didn't talk about that yet. Now, I definitely wanted to discuss it. What do you think about supplements? Do you think it's something that is needed? And if so, would the supplements change with the certain age group? At the 20s and 30s, are those certain supplements that you should take versus the 40s and the 50s? I know things like Centrum or something like that. They have the silver 50 plus, and then they have some that are regular. What do you guys feel about supplements, and do you feel it's necessary?
I know, like I was saying, when I went from 20 to 30 and I'm kind of in the mid 30s, there were particular supplements or vitamins that I felt that I needed. Just be something as simple as just like your everyday vitamin. I decided to venture off into probiotics for my gut health. I'm trying to see what is it glucosamine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, glucosamine. I was an avid runner. I don't run as much now, but I did a lot of marathon running and 5Ks. And Peggy mentioned to me about incorporating glucosamine as a supplement for joint health. So it's one of those things where I really do feel like it's very beneficial. As you get older and you listen to your body, and don't feel bad if you have to take these supplements or vitamins. You know, we wish that we could that our supplementation can come from our nutritional value, but sometimes we don't eat what we need to.
Right.
And so that's why it's called supplements, to supplement when we're not doing what we're supposed to. So, yeah.
So are there any that you would recommend?
I usually recommend one a day, 50 plus, because those are the clients I work with. But usually clients that I work with, they are pretty on point about vegetables. So they feel like they're getting those nutrient vegetables that they eat. But calcium is most important for the aging people over 50. Calcium as a falling, if their bones, joints are able to sustain the fall. So I really don't go into a lot of supplementation except for the calcium and one a day, 50 plus, and their diet. Their diet. If we can eat what we can get out of these vegetables and things, we can pretty much supplement well from that. Yep.
Okay. So would you say that the core, if it's 50 plus, and you had mentioned something about falling, and I was just thinking about core strengthening. Do you think as the person gets a little bit older that their core is a little weaker at that time? And is that what causes people to kind of lose their balance a little bit as they get older, or what could cause them to be more prone to fall?
Not necessarily. Core is weaker. The core does become weaker, but that's not the reason for falling and being off balance. The reason that they're off balance because as you get older, your equilibrium is not the same. So you have to work more balancing exercises in order to maintain the balance during the aging process.
So what age would you say would be the best time to start implementing your equilibrium strengthening or your balance exercises? What age would you say?
Now at all times.
Yeah. Because you may have some 30-year-olds, or you may have some 40-year-olds that balance is off. You don't have to be 50 plus to be off balance. I mean, you got somebody stand up on one foot 30 years old that may not be able to withstand the equilibrium because they don't work on that.
Yeah.
So
I coach middle schoolers. It's hard for them. It does, at that age, it does go back to core strength. Yeah. So, I feel like that's something that can be worked on at any age.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you think about running, when would you recommend what age group would you recommend someone to kind of pull back from doing as much running? Because I know running is a lot of pounding, foot to concrete, foot to the road, or foot to whatever. When would be that age group where you say, you know what, you probably don't need to do quite as much running per se? Maybe a swift walk or something like that, because you want to preserve your knee joints and and those types of things. So is there an age group? Because we're talking about aging, the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s, 50s. When would be those age groups when you need to start adjusting your kinds of workout?
You want to go ahead?
I was gonna say, she says it's a good question. That is a good question. I guess my thoughts immediately go to what you need to be a good runner, not necessarily the age restriction, but your footwear. I mean, I think those things are just as important as necessarily saying that at a certain age you need to start running. I think no matter what age you are, making sure that you have some things in place to make you a successful runner, that you're not causing, injury to yourself, not causing stress to your knees by not having like proper footwear. That's the first thing I thought about when you were asking that question.
And one thing I thought about was the condition that you're already in. Like Peggy said, she was an athlete. So running to her may be different, as she ages, it can be something that comes with ease for some people. And I've heard people say that running is just very hard for them, even in their youngest age, because you have people out here who they've never had to run unless they were being chased. They don't feel like running. They ain't thinking about running, and you have some who just love to run. Like running is their jam, And so just me being in different races, I've seen, I kind of felt some way, but I've had people of all ages pass me in the race too. And I'm like, well, but these are things that, some people, that is their thing. They run. They don't do anything but run. And they can become lifelong runners, because they have trained their body. They know what shoes to wear. They know what kind of training they need so their body can endure the long times of running. But of course, I wouldn't recommend just going out there and just taking off, and because it can definitely, if you have some underlying conditions, it can definitely mess up, some joints. But the overall, you just need to listen to your body. When your knees start hurting, taper off, go to the doctor, figure out what's going on. Can you continue to run? Or like you said, do we just need to do a swift walk? Then your hips may hurt, so you just have to listen to your body. But I love running. I love everything about running. I don't run as much as I used to, but you definitely just have to listen to your body.
Well, I know, okay. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So for me, having been a runner, having been an athlete, playing basketball is fast. You make a lot of pivots, you make a lot of cuts. And after basketball, I became a runner because I wanted to keep my body in a certain shape. But as I grew older, I knew that it was time to stop that running because I could just feel all of my cartilage like just wear down, bit every time regardless of whether I had the right shoes, regardless of whether I knew the technique of running, I still just felt my cartilage like just gradually go away. And it did in my right leg. So I had a knee replacement 2 years ago. And that's when my running really slowed down. Now I might get out there and do a light trot and walk, but it's nothing like how it used to be because as you grow older, things start to deteriorate. So the cartilage in between those joints start to, and you'll see people that are still out there on the Labor Trail that are trying to still run. And they limping, they actually can walk faster than they're jogging or running. So you like they said, you listen to your body. And when your body says no more, slow it down, walk, let's do a brisk walk, that's what you need to do. In any instance, you need to listen to your body.
I like that. And you do. Especially with rest and all types of stuff, because if you don't, your body will slow down for you. and will demand that rest that you need.
Right.
As we wrap up tonight, let's kind of talk about what would be your encouragement for certain groups. So, Gina, we'll get you to talk about the 20s to the 30s. Erica, we'll get you to talk about 30s to 40s, and Peggy, we'll get you to talk about 40 to 50. And so, what we're going to do, encourage. What would you say to encourage those age groups as they're either embarking upon their workout journey, as they're transitioning from age group to age group? What would be one I won't say a one word, but what would be your encouragement for tonight just to get them moving?
Okay, for my 20 to 30-year-olds, I would say not to wait so long to focus on how you feel instead of how you look. I feel like in between my 20s and 30s, it was all about how I look. Like, I just want to be small. I just want to wear this size. I just want to be this. I ain't care nothing about how I was feeling, just how I look. I want to look right. And so I feel like if my 20 to 30-year-olds can focus, put that same energy into how they feel and their health, then they would have a better transition aging forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Erica?
Yeah. 30s to 40s, 2 words that I will say: balance and self-care. Balance and self-care. Balance and self-care. For me personally, I've actually heard people in my age group say the same thing, how important rest is in a way now that it wasn't that important 10 years ago. I remember in my 20s, my 30s, I could function off 2 or 3 hours of sleep and wake up and get moving. And you would have thought I had slept for 8 hours. Now, you don't know. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I got to go to bed. I got to go to bed. Right. I got to take care of myself in a way that I got to go to bed. I have to take care of myself in a way that I did not have to take care of myself. And I'll share too. So last year, both of my parents passed. And I know that there have been quite a few people that have dealt with deaths in the family. We've been in this pandemic. COVID has played a factor, and just all kinds of sickness and disease. And I think balance and self-care is so important, especially these last couple of years, if nothing else. And so get active, take care of yourself. Our metabolism has slowed down. We have to be more intentional about what we eat, but from a mind, body, spirit perspective, balance and self-care.
Okay.
That's my advice.
Peggy?
That's good. I mean, really. That's like that's like be made whole stuff, moving fearlessly stuff. So the 50 plus is my season. I gotta say season because it's most important at this age. Movement. You gotta move, and once you reach this age, where we are, you have to move. Movement is so important. And those of you who are out there listening, if you have parents who are 50 plus, or if you are 50 plus, it's time to start moving, because as the body starts to age, different things starts to take place in the body. So we need to stay healthy. We need to make, for all of our clients, we need to make lifestyle changes, not events. And the younger ages sometimes tend to have an event. They want an event. But some of my older ones do too. They just want to come in and say, this is what I need. And I have to explain to them that the importance of movement and enhancing their quality of life is what's most important. So I would say to the seasoned ones, because they get on to me about saying, "Oh, we seasoned, baby, we seasoned." You know, you have to get on. You have to continue to motivate them to stay moving. and assure them that they're not going to fall. So that's what I would say to the 50 and over, the 50 plus.
Okay.
Somebody
I think,
question.
yeah, we do have a question here on the floor, Ms. Lewis, and I think it's a good question. Any suggestions on boosting metabolism?
Yeah, what you eat.
It's what you eat. It's what you eat, Doc. You gotta eat. You gotta. What's my word?
You have to eat. Have a regimen of eating. You have to,
Right.
You have to
eat.
have a regimen
Yeah.
of eating.
Mhm.
This question has been asked to me by people. How do you boost your metabolism? A lot of us don't eat. First of all, we don't eat,
Right.
and if we do eat, we may eat once a day, and that's not good for the metabolism.
And also, also you have to eat to live, not live to eat. And that's what I say just across the board. If I'm eating to live, then that's gonna help me. I eat my food in whatever kind of order. We eat our food in whatever kind of order, it don't matter. But when you're living to eat, you're just in whatever. You have a cheat day every day. Yeah. So I would say that it's about what you're eating and how often you're eating to boost your metabolism.
Okay. I think that's a good statement there. And also, Peggy, with what you have me on, you have me eating 6 meals a day right now. And so I'm eating the main meals, the breakfast and the lunch and the dinner. But then I have 3 other meals in between that. So I'm eating every 2 hours. What that has done for me is it's given me a lot more energy that I've had in a very long time. Now, do I feel like I'm constantly eating every time? I feel like I'm just chewing on something all the time. Yeah. I feel like I'm just always eating, but it works for me. And I believe that it has really increased my metabolism. And because as we get younger and more seasoned, we have to do things intentionally. I know for me, it's not like just casual like it was in the 20s and the 30s, even possibly early 40s. But, for me, everything is intentional. So if when I go to my office, I have my snacks, I have everything that I'm taking with me, and I put it in my bag. So I'm going to have my snack, I have 2 snacks that I eat during the day. I may have like some fruit, and then I may have a package of tuna. And then I have my main meal in the middle, and then I have waters with each one of those. And then I'll come home, eat my dinner, and then I have another snack before I go to bed at night. But everything is intentional. I mean, literally, it's intentional, and I have to make it happen. Yeah. That makes it happen. But that has been, when I tell you, just energy, tons and tons and tons of energy. And I think within 2 weeks of being on that, I lost 10 pounds. And I was just really kind of wanting to lean out. And I have been able to achieve that with what you have me doing. So, and it gave me the energy that I needed just off the cuff. I gave it about a week, and that energy was just kind of in. But then I found myself just wanting to being hungry every 2 hours at that point, almost to a point of starving. So I don't know if by increasing that metabolism increases your appetite too. I don't know. Does it?
Yes, it does. It does. It makes you, and some of the supplements you take also increases that because it makes your metabolism go.
Okay.
You're welcome, Dr. Lewis. Yeah.
Okay,
but yeah. So the thing about this eating, I always say my word of advice to everybody is let food be your medicine, or medicine will be your food.
That's a powerful statement.
That's most important. Mm-hmm. But it's true. Mm-hmm. I was walking around Railroad Park one morning, and it was this 90-year-old man that was out there walking, and he was getting it. So I asked this man, I stopped by and asked him, what you come out and walk every morning? Because he was having a conversation with this other guy. He said, I asked him, what makes you come out and walk every morning? He said, so the doctors won't tell me I have to.
Mm.
He was 90.
Okay. Wow.
So I think with what you do, be made whole, and I think what you do with moving fearlessly kind of adds all of that and brings it all together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think I was going to say, just to say something else about the eating, I think that there is a myth, just like there's a myth. A lot of people believe if you lift weights, you're going to bulk up.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a myth too that if you to lose weight, don't eat. But you actually, in order to really, and you just kind of spoke to it, in order to really lose weight, you gotta eat.
Yeah, it's a paradox.
Yep.
You gotta eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a myth too that we help our clients understand. You gotta eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but eat enough of the right things. Tells me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They come in. Well, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Nothing. Well, what did you have for lunch? Nothing. Have you had any snacks? No. And you coming in feeling all weak, about to pass out. So the thing about it is, the more you eat, the more you lose. And the less you eat, the more you gain, because your brain is saying, feed me.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what you feed me. Stop at McDonald's on your way here, or stop at Burger King. Stop at these different places on your way here. So that's how you gain the weight. But if you're eating healthy more, then that's how your metabolism speeds up. And think about the premium gas you put in your car. If you put premium and good food in your body, it's going to go. But if you put bad gas in a premium tank, and that's going to shut the car down. So that's how the body is.
Wow. I tell you this, I think that was a good answer for Dr. Lewis, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a good answer. I tell you what, this has been very enlightening today, and I know that it's helping a lot of people, especially as those who are in their 50s right now, those who are kind of traveling through their 40s and their 30s, and then even those who are in their 20s. Now they can kind of have an idea of this is possibly what I may encounter as I go from age group to age group to age group. And so it's always good to know these types of things so that you can be aware. I love to make sure that I am knowledgeable on everything. I love to be knowledgeable. I love to be on top of whatever it is that I'm doing. And so having this segment here in the ladies' room tonight, I think was very, very good, because a lot of people don't realize that eating more gives you more energy. Eating more of the right thing gives you energy. And so I think that was a really good one. Let's see what Jolanda has. Not eating causes the body to go into starvation mode, makes the body hold on to weight. That it has. True. So I think your body it thinks it's missing out on something, and so it stores the fat or something. Is that goes?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So that was a good statement there. Wow. Hey. I tell you what, guys, those of you who are watching, make sure you go out here and share the post, because definitely doing what you need to do to intentionally to take care of your body is so important. It's so key. And they're doing that right there at PK Fitness LLC in Homewood, Alabama. Also, some people refer to it as being Green Springs. That's across from Ollie's and the Oriental supermarket down there on Green Springs Highway. Go out there and check them out. Go to her page, hit like and follow that page. You also have people like Move Fearlessly with Erica. So Erica has been made whole. Gina has moved fearlessly. So go out there and check those out as well, guys. They each have their own interests, but they all are PK Fitness and training. So you want to get out there, get that body in the place that it needs to be. Check out PK Fitness. Go out there, guys, Facebook page. Hit like, follow, stay abreast of what's going on. I think Peggy has some new things coming down the pipeline. I think I saw today that you have some things going on. So guys, check it out so you can stay abreast of what's going on. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us inside the ladies room tonight. We enjoyed you guys. You used your virtual key.
For having us.
Yes. Excellent job tonight. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. And as always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us inside the Ladies Room Talk Show. We come on every Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We will see you soon inside the Ladies Room. Good night.
Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa.